Namaste. Welcome to Youth TV Show Season 10. In today's episode, we are featuring Inspiring Women. Inspiring Women is a TV show where we bring women leaders from all around the globe and share their success stories. Today we have with us Ms. Tirza Theunissen. She is a social entrepreneur. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you.
You've been in the sector of international development for a very long time. Can you tell us what inspired you to get into this field?
I think there's always been kind of my dream to work abroad. I'm half Asian, so I always felt when I was growing up, there was a strong connection with another part of the world that I hadn't seen. And I always really wanted to kind of explore that. So when I was in high school, I was studying geography, and one of my teachers encouraged me to write a small paper on international development, particularly focusing on Asia. And I really enjoyed that. And from there on, I really felt like, I think I need to work abroad. And I always really wanted to help people. Combining sort of those two passions really made me sort of pursue a career in international development.
You worked with children in detention, you worked with refugee children, you worked in the sector of advocacy, law, policy, urban governance, and a lot more. Can you tell us about one accomplishment that you consider to be the most significant in your career?
Well, it's a challenging question because I think there are many highlights to look back on. I think generally speaking, I'm just really proud of all the people I've worked with and sort of seeing them grow to become full-fledged leaders of their own. So I think my role primarily is to support young people to become great leaders. And so there are many, many young people that I look back upon that I think are really doing fantastic work themselves now. So I consider that to be sort of my most significant achievement. Here in Nepal, I've worked to set up an organization that is also supporting young people to become, leaders in different fields, be it data or entrepreneurship or youth leadership. And I've been privileged to work with more than 50 young Nepali over the last 4 years. And I've seen how this organization has grown to become really successful in Nepal and has really sort of gained a lot of traction with many people and a lot of followers. And I think that's really a significant achievement that I look back on that I'm really proud of my time being here in Nepal.
Could you tell us about one challenge that you faced during your journey in your career?
Yeah, so when I set up this organization here in Nepal, I really expected that there will be a lot of people who will be supporting me and helping me and like applauding me for kind of taking the initiative and sort of supporting the young people here. But I found it was quite difficult to kind of find support, and it really took a lot of time. And sometimes people tend to be quite negative or very skeptical, particularly when you're not a well-known organization in the very early stages. So I think it's really important not to kind of lose faith. But I've had my moments where I was doubting, am I doing the right thing or should I just give up? But I always sort of persisted and kept going and sort of just believed in myself. So I think, that's been sort of one of the biggest barriers, trying to find support, trying to find people who believe in your work, trying to find people who are willing to try and experiment, to do something different. It's not easy. But I think the critical thing is really not to give up and to just continue believing in yourself. So that's it. Yeah.
Could you tell us about your purpose in life and how do you plan to achieve it?
I think my purpose in life, like I mentioned also earlier, is really to support young people. And I've really had this passion always to help people who are disadvantaged. So this led me to kind of, study also international human rights law because I really wanted to advocate for those who are left behind, who don't have a voice. And I continue to do that still today. I think with my organization, bringing together different people from different backgrounds, trying to support them, trying to give them a platform, trying to mentor and guide them. And I think that's my purpose in life that I would like to continue. And I've done this now in Nepal, and I would love to take this also to other countries and continue to remain engaged also with the team here in Nepal. But I think there's a lot of work to be done, whether it's here in Nepal or whether it's back in Europe or anywhere else in the world. I think there's always need to support young people and guide them. And that's really what I would like to do.
Ideas can come from any direction, but how you turn that idea into a reality is what matters the most. So could you tell us something about your style of leadership?
I'm a very practical person. So when I have an idea, I immediately want to turn it into action. And I will do anything to make that happen. So I'm very sort of action-oriented person. I like to lead from behind also. I think it's really important that as a leader, you are supporting others to become leaders and not to put yourself too much in the forefront. So I think it's really critical to work with young people and through local organizations and supporting those rather than sort of entering onto the forefront directly. I like to kind of empower people, so giving them sort of broad space to explore themselves and find their own way of doing things, and just being there available for them if they need guidance or any support. But I think the best way to learn is by trying to do things yourself rather than for someone to stipulate each step along the way. So I've been trying to practice that also here in Nepal.
What advice would you like to give the aspiring youths who wish to pursue a career in this field? And what are the skills that you would suggest them to develop to excel in this field?
I think firstly, it's really important to work very hard and to start at an early age. So like myself, I started, I think, work when I was 16. I already had a summer job. I was cleaning offices, but it earned me some money. And it gave me certain freedom to do certain things. I continued that while I was a student. So I've basically been working since very early ages on, and it's given me a lot of rich experience from which I can benefit, and I can relate to a lot of different people because I've been in their shoes. So I would really encourage people to work alongside their studies. Whenever they have an opportunity, go for internships, go for apprenticeships. Look to see that experience. So that's the first thing. The second thing I think is it's really important to be modest also, and to keep an open mind and to always be willing to learn. I think only if you continuously are open-minded and are open to new things and also can take criticism and also are continuously trying to look to improve yourself, you can only grow as a person. And I think this is really what is crucial in this job market of today, where people are looking for people who have that type of mindset. So I think that's really important. And then the final thing I think is really critical, that people continue to believe in themselves. It may be that sometimes people don't support you, but you just really have to do what your gut instinct tells you to do, and follow those steps. I think in terms of skills, it's I think really important to nurture your leadership skills. So to kind of gain leadership experience is really important. I think it's also really important to ensure that you have the technical skills, because only if you have the technical skills, you can supervise people later on in life who perform technical jobs. So I think often we want to quickly become the manager without going through the necessary hoops first to gain that relevant experience. So I think investing in technical skills and ensuring that you're capable and qualified in those areas is also really, really important for a successful career.
Lastly, is there anything that we missed out asking that you'd like to tell our viewers? Any message?
I just want to maybe say that I'm really inspired by what I've seen so far in Nepal in terms of the young leaders that are here. I think there's tremendous talent and potential, and I've met so many great people who are doing amazing things, be it in working as entrepreneurs or working in the development sector, or even some who are working in more difficult fields like politics or other areas. So I think the future is really looking bright, and there's often very much a tendency to be very pessimistic and only to focus on the negative things. But I think there's a lot to be positive about, and if Nepal continues along this line and invests in its young people, I think it's going to go very far. So I'm really pleased to have been here and to have had this opportunity to work with such amazing young people, and I wish everybody best of luck in whatever work they're doing here in Nepal.
Thank you for being in our show today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us. You can follow us at facebook.com/Leadership Academy KTM. We will be back next week with a new episode of Youth TV Show. Until then, hope you have a great week ahead. Namaste.